What's going on, guys? So today we have another gas station cigar review. Swisher Sweets. This one says it's an encore edition, so perhaps something they came out with in the past they brought back. But this is Arctic Ice. So what does that say to me? Possibly mint, right? That's the safe assumption. Anyway, 2 for 99 cents as per usual. So we're gonna rip into this and see what we got. Oh yeah, that's minty. I didn't even crack the seal yet, and I'm smelling that mint. Alright, this smells like gum. This is like straight up in your face peppermint, which seems pretty interesting. We're gonna see how that works. That could be a good thing, or that might not work out well at all. We will find out. So, yeah. Ooh, that tastes good. Little dry puff there. So it smells like straight up peppermint, but that flavor is more like of a sweet spearmint. Very interesting. So anyway, I got some matches here somewhere. There they are. And we're gonna get started. Alright. A little tobacco stuck to the tongue. My initial impression, I like it. Which is not something I say often when I do gas station cigar reviews. That mint, I mean, it's got to be on the wrapper here. But it's all over my lips. It's like I feel like I just chewed a fresh piece of peppermint gum. The flavors, like I said, it's more spearmint, more sweet. But it's like, pow, a huge just mint flavor all throughout the mouth. I don't even really taste tobacco yet. Wow, it's interesting. Let me turn my hat the other way around so you can see when my facial expressions. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I didn't know if I'd like that. I mean, when I read the Arctic Ice, I assumed mint, but who knows, right? I mean, it could have been anything. But I do kind of like it. Of course, it smokes fine. The you know, all these gas station cigars, they don't have burn issues or anything like that. You know, so far, I could barely taste the tobacco. That's probably why I'm enjoying it. Because as we know, there's very low quality tobacco, usually pumped full of all kinds of chemicals in these things. They're more cigarettes than they are cigars. And as everyone has clearly stated before, most people don't just take them out of the package and smoke them. Yes, I know that. Usually you just want that wrapper. I get it, I know. But I'm just seeing what they taste like if you did just smoke it. Because some of you out there do that. Ooh. When you retrohale, I mean, that mint just poof, just totally pops you in the face. I don't taste tobacco yet. Which is, like I said, it's a good thing in this particular case. It's just super minty. Minty. Forgot the T there. So if you guys are like huge fans of menthol cigarettes, clearly this is going to be the cigarillo for you if you're looking for one on the cheap. And at, you know, 49/50 cents a piece, that's pretty cheap. That's really interesting. So yeah, I mean, the room note, I guess you can call it, is straight up peppermint. Very sharp, crisp peppermint, but the flavor is much more on the spearmint side of things. Just kind of sweet and mellow, not quite as like crispy, minty, if that makes sense. I mean, if you chew gum, you'll know the difference between spearmint and peppermint. There is a very distinctive difference, even though they're both mint. The spearmint's always just really sweet. So ash holding on pretty long here. not that long, just fell. Okay. So here's the rub. I'm starting to taste the tobacco now a little bit. I think it's mostly because the flavoring rubbed off. Let's see. Yeah. I think a lot of the flavoring was on the wrapper itself and not in the tobacco. So, I don't know, it's early on. That initial couple puffs was awesome though. Seriously, that was a really interesting surprise. I don't think I've ever had quite a minty cigar. I've had the Javas, the mint version of that, which is very, very subtle. Nothing like this at all. It was mostly the chocolate. But yeah, I mean, pretty light pack. Smokes very nicely. Mint's fading away. Tobacco's kind of coming to the foreground, which is not a good thing. I don't really like the flavor of this tobacco. The mint's still in my mouth though, which is definitely helping the whole scenario. Yeah, I don't know. We will see how this plays out. Arctic Ice. So yeah. Ah, this smells so good. Made in the Dominican Republic. Imported, I guess Swisher International is located in Jacksonville. Interesting. I don't recall if I read that before. These cigars are predominantly natural tobacco with non-tobacco ingredients added. Yeah, I don't think it naturally would taste like mint the way it does. So yeah, even though the tobacco flavor is coming through, it's not offensive yet. I'm still enjoying myself. Despite it being cold out here, that's the only thing I'm not enjoying. But yeah, it's not terrible so far. We will see. Probably coming close to the midway point. It's holding up enough. Like I said, there's enough mint there that's covering up the harsh tobacco flavor. And feeling, by the way, I don't feel that harshness in the back of the throat or anything I usually get with these type cigars. So the mint is doing wonders right now. But it's, like I said, it's slowly fading, so we'll see. There's almost like a dark chocolate thing going on now. And I know these aren't supposed to taste like chocolate at all. It's just a little bit of like a bitter, the actual tobacco has a little bit of a bitter chocolate flavor to it. So like, I'm kind of being reminded of like an Andes mint, the chocolate mint combination, but if it was like a super dark chocolate. Like a sugar-free chocolate or something. Have you ever had sugar-free chocolate? It's not quite as sweet, obviously, with the artificial sweeteners in there. I don't know. Something weird that's coming through. Staying steady with the flavor. I think that's what's going to save these, is if that mint hangs on to the very bitter end. Oh, that much more to go. A few minutes here. So yeah, write down in the comments if you actually smoke gas station cigars as is. And there are plenty of people who do. I get feedback from these videos and people say, yeah, every now and again, I'm not a cigarette smoker or anything. I kind of want a cigar, but I don't want to spend $5 or $6 on a large cigar. I'm not going to sit around smoking for an hour and a half. I just want a quick smoke, but not a cigarette. I think that's where these things really shine. Obviously, there's a lot of purchases made of these where people dissect them and make their own cigars, as you know. But there are a fair amount of people that are just buying these and smoking them. Now, as I mentioned in other videos, I used to get gas station cigars as a teenager because I would smell like weed, and I didn't want to smell like weed when my mom was picking me up or something. So I'd smoke a cigarette, which I didn't like, just a couple puffs to kind of get that smell on me to cover it up, or something like this. Now, back in the day, they didn't have flavored cigars like they do now, not the for me, it was usually like the Tipperellos, the White Owls, some of the Swisher sweets that were just, I mean, naturally flavored with the wood tips. I mean, those were the types of things that I was puffing on. But again, it wasn't really a lot for fun. It was mostly just to cover up the smell. But there might have been a handful of times where me and my friends would just sit around and just smoke one for fun. Just because we thought it was cool, I suppose. But it's not. It's not cool. So don't smoke them if you think they're cool, because it's not. It might be enjoyable as an adult, but I do not advocate anyone who is not of age to smoke anything. I think that's something that you could totally do when you're an adult, if you choose to. Plenty of those little bits of tobacco coming out of the back, which they always do with these. Not the worst thing in the world, but certainly not pleasant. So, the mint is still there. It's like, if I had to put a percentage on it, it's like 30% minty. But the tobacco flavor is not, it's not terrible. I will say that. I always give you honest opinions on these things, and most of the time I really dislike them. In fact, some of them are downright sickening. But this one's not so shabby. If I had to pick one, this is up there. It's up there on the list of enjoyable ones. Well, I should make a distinction between enjoyable and non-offensive. But I am enjoying it a little bit, be honest. At least in the beginning. Alright, just then I got something super harsh. I don't know what that was. I don't know if I'm smoking it too hot. It's not really at its end. I have a couple more puffs on this, but I got like a blast of hot nastiness from that puff. I don't know what that was, so I'm going to give this a second or two. Maybe let it cool down. I got one or two more puffs on it before I call it a day. But, I mean, perfect burn. That's one good thing about these cigarillos. The smaller a cigar gauge is, the less likely it is to run or canoe or have different types of burning problems. Doesn't matter what kind of brand, doesn't matter if it's expensive or cheap. Cigarillos usually burn okay. There's usually not a problem with them. And I've never had a problem with one of these gas station cigars or cigarillos. Alright, let's make another attempt at this. Yeah, no. It's just the actual tobacco itself. The flavor is just punching through. That last puff, there was almost no mint on it. I have a little bit of mint tingle on my lips. I have a little bit of the flavor in my mouth, but now it's full-on tobacco, and it's showing its true colors, and it's not very good at all. So I'm going to do one more, and then we'll call it quits. Yeah. So, that was interesting. I will say that I did quite enjoy the first third of that, almost the first half. It was actually enjoyable. It was nice. It was super minty. I keep saying mini, like Minnie Mouse. Minty with a T. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you're a menthol cigarette smoker, you will probably love these things. It's not too far of a departure, only the actual mint is sweeter and way more pungent than in a cigarette. So yeah, I mean, I would highly, highly recommend these to a menthol cigarette smoker who might want to transition to cigars to get off of smoking. You know, that quite happens a lot. I see a lot of people who don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore, so they'll go like either to vaping, the vaping route, or they'll go like cigars, pipes, stuff like that. I get a lot of messages from people saying that, like, hey, I don't want to smoke cigarettes anymore. I've been smoking cigarettes 20 years, or sometimes people say they've been smoking for a year, but they don't want to do it anymore. They want to smoke something else to kind of, you know, ease off instead of doing the cold turkey thing. And that's where, you know, pipes, cigars, vaping, those type things kind of replace cigarette smoking for some people. Yeah, so that's who I would recommend this for. a menthol cigarette smoker that wants to transition to cigars. Not too shabby at all. One of the least offensive, flavors. That's probably why it came back. Encore edition. It seems like it was a limited edition. Went away for a while and then came back. So might be a little bit harder to find because of that. But if you do find them, worth checking out. So that's all. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you very much for watching. And I hope you guys have a wonderful day. And I will see you tomorrow with another video. Take care.